She expected you to chase. Not disappear forever asterisk. She thought you would run after her. She thought you would beg, text endlessly, and show up in her world like a man desperate for her validation. She expected the same old script, the same predictable pattern that most men fall into when a woman starts to pull away. But what she didn't expect was silence. She didn't expect stillness. She didn't expect the man who once gave her attention to suddenly disappear without anger, without explanation, and without drama. That silence, that calm withdrawal, becomes a storm inside her mind, and the psychology behind it is deeper than most people realize. The female mind is conditioned by patterns. When she flirts, pulls away, or tests, she subconsciously expects a certain response. Most men reinforce her assumptions by reacting exactly as she predicts. If she ignores a message, the man sends two more. If she cancels a plan, the man rushes to reschedule. If she grows distant, the man tries harder, thinking effort will reignite her interest. What he doesn't see is that every chase lowers his value in her eyes. Because chasing places her above him and puts him in the role of follower. She expected you to play that role. She expected you to prove yourself. She expected to be the prize. But when you stop chasing, you break the pattern. Suddenly, she is left in the silence of her own assumptions. And that silence is not empty, it's powerful. It forces her to confront something she wasn't prepared for. The realization that your attention was never guaranteed. She thought she had you wrapped. She thought she could control the tempo of your emotions. But the moment you walked away, her sense of power began to fade. Women don't admit this out loud, but their attraction is tied to uncertainty. When they can predict everything, they get bored. But when you step back and leave them with questions, they begin to feel a pull they can't logically explain. Imagine this: a woman pulls back slightly. She texts less, delays her replies, seems busy. Most men, desperate not to lose her, increase their efforts. They check her social media, they call, they chase. She sees this and subconsciously thinks, I can have him whenever I want. He's already mine. She feels secure in her control, and with that security comes boredom. But when you go silent, she feels something else: insecurity. She wonders, wait, why isn't he chasing? Did I misread his feelings? Did he lose interest? Is he talking to someone else? This confusion stirs curiosity, and curiosity stirs attraction. This is not a game. This is not manipulation. This is natural psychology, the way human attraction balances itself through polarity. If one person leans forward, the other leans back. If one chases, the other flees. But when you refuse to play the game and instead step out of the chase altogether, you change the entire dynamic. She expected to be pursued forever, but now, she has to face the possibility that she might have lost something valuable. The silence works on multiple levels. On the surface, it communicates confidence. Only a man who values himself can stay calm when a woman pulls away. A man who knows his worth does not beg for validation. Beneath the surface, it triggers an ancient response. Women are wired to desire men who have options, men who are grounded, men who don't crumble under pressure. When you disappear gracefully, you show all of those traits without saying a word. But here's the part most men don't understand. Silence is not about punishment. It's not about playing hard to get or trying to teach her a lesson. True silence comes from detachment, from genuinely being okay whether she comes back or not. The reason it's powerful is because it's real. If you disappear but secretly obsess, checking her profile every hour, you haven't actually disappeared, you're still chasing in your mind. Real silence is different. Real silence is presence with yourself, a redirection of energy into your own life, your purpose, your growth. That authenticity is what makes her feel the shift. She expected you to crumble. She expected long paragraphs, emotional pleas, and late-night calls. But when none of that arrived, when instead she was met with the quiet strength of your absence, she began to feel the weight of her own choices. That weight grows heavier each day. You remain unmoved. She starts to replay your moments together. She remembers the attention you gave, and she contrasts it with the void now in its place. That void echoes louder than any words you could have spoken. And slowly, the questions in her mind turn into emotions she can't shake off. She asks herself, why isn't he reaching out? Did I do something wrong? Does he not care anymore? Has he found someone better? Each question digs deeper, and each unanswered question makes her long for the very attention she once took for granted. The power of your silence is not that you withheld it, it's that you moved on without fear. This doesn't mean she will always come back. Sometimes, silence reveals the truth that she never valued you enough in the first place. But even then, the silence saves you. It preserves your dignity. It keeps you from wasting energy chasing someone who is never meant for you. And when she does come back, it's not because you begged, it's because she realized your value on her own. That realization is the only foundation on which true respect can grow. The Stoic truth is this: chasing a woman who doesn't value you destroys your self-respect, and without self-respect, no relationship can thrive. When you walk away silently, you're not just affecting her, you're saving yourself. You're choosing strength over desperation, peace over chaos, and dignity over temporary validation. That choice will echo not only in her mind but in your own. So remember this: she expected you to chase, but you disappeared instead. That single choice changed everything. Because in the end, attraction is not about how much effort you put in, it's about the energy you embody. And a man who can stay silent, who can walk away without fear, is a man she will never truly forget. When a man stops chasing, something shifts not only in her emotions, but also in the deeper layers of her psychology. Let's peel it back carefully. Women, by nature, are wired to test. These tests are rarely conscious. They're woven into their instincts. When she withdraws a little, delays a text, or acts as if she's less available, she's not always trying to hurt you. She's unconsciously testing whether you'll react with insecurity or with strength. Most men fail here. Instead of holding steady, they panic. They bombard her with messages. They push harder for attention, and in doing so, they reveal their weakness. She expected you to be one of those men, the kind who places her approval above his own value. But silence is a language she didn't prepare for. Imagine the scenario. She creates distance, expecting your pursuit, but instead of chasing you, pull back. Instead of showing neediness, you radiate composure. Instead of questions, you give her quiet. That reversal unsettles her world because now she is the one dealing with uncertainty. For women, uncertainty is both uncomfortable and attractive. It's uncomfortable because it challenges their sense of control, and it's attractive because it awakens curiosity. Curiosity is the birthplace of emotional investment. Think about it. When someone is predictable, we stop thinking about them. They fade into the background. But when someone surprises us, we can't help but wonder about them. Your silence becomes that surprise. Instead of confirming what she thought she knew about you, you give her something rare: mystery. And mystery is a force far more powerful than constant validation. Now, let's talk about why chasing doesn't work. Chasing is the act of giving without balance. It's pouring energy into someone who hasn't earned it. And when a man chases, he communicates one simple truth: you are above me. I need you more than you need me. That imbalance kills attraction. Women don't consciously say, he's chasing too much, so I'm losing interest. But their emotions respond that way. Respect fades. Excitement fades. And once those fade, no amount of effort can bring them back. On the other hand, when you stop chasing and hold your ground, you communicate a very different truth. I am complete without you. I do not need you to validate me. I choose, I don't beg. That message awakens respect, and respect is the foundation of desire. Without respect, there may be comfort, but never lasting attraction. Silence doesn't mean coldness. It's not about being rude, ignoring her existence, or treating her like she doesn't matter. It's about shifting your energy back into your own life. The man who disappears forever is not the one sulking in his room, obsessing over what she's doing. He is the man who takes his energy and invests it into himself, his body, his mission, his work, his friendships, his purpose. He becomes fuller, stronger, more radiant. And from afar, she notices. Even if she doesn't admit it, she senses the change. Let's pause here for a reality check. Not every woman will come back after silence. Some women will vanish permanently, and that's okay. Because the real gift of silence isn't about making her chase, it's about discovering who actually values you. Silence acts as a filter. The women who genuinely cared, who were merely testing, will resurface. The women who only sought validation, who were never serious, will stay gone. Either way, you win. You save yourself from wasted energy, and you align yourself with relationships that are built on respect. Now, let's look at this from the lens of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics taught that we cannot control the actions of others. We can only control our own responses. A woman's pullback, her games, her silence, those are her actions. You cannot force her to love you. You cannot force her to value you. But you can control whether you chase her or whether you hold steady in your dignity. And when you hold steady, you embody what the Stoics called apatheia, freedom from the passions that enslave weaker men. This is where your strength is tested, because silence is not easy. The urge to reach out, to explain yourself, to demand clarity, it's powerful. It feels unnatural to walk away when your emotions scream to stay. But growth always feels unnatural at first. The silence isn't just for her. It's for you. It's training for your soul. It teaches you to resist impulse, to master desire, and to value yourself above external approval. That mastery doesn't just make you more attractive to women. It makes you unshakable in life. Consider this. A man who cannot remain silent in the face of rejection is a man who is enslaved to validation. But a man who can remain calm, who can step away without bitterness, is a man who has freed himself, and freedom, true freedom, is magnetic. When she realizes that you're not coming back, when she feels the absence of your presence, she will think differently about you. The attention she once dismissed becomes valuable in hindsight. The man she thought she could control becomes a mystery she can't solve. And whether she admits it or not, that mystery will echo in her mind. Silence doesn't always bring her back, but it always brings you back to yourself. And that is the real victory. So the next time you feel the urge to chase, remember this truth. She expected you to play the predictable role. But when you refused, you changed the entire story. And in that story, whether she returns or not, you stand as the man who chose strength over weakness, presence over panic, and dignity over desperation.